I'd like to share some information that is withheld from everyone born with a uterus because what's happening right now in Texas relates to forced fertility throughout our culture. There is a simple, non-surgical procedure that permanently stops periods without hormones or a hysterectomy, and none of us are educated on it because we are not allowed to make decisions about our own bodies. It's called endometrial ablation, and it is the best thing that has ever happened to me. Endometrial ablation is a minimally invasive outpatient procedure. The doctor inserts a device into the uterus through the cervix that essentially burns off the endometrial layer. The patient is unconscious under anesthesia the entire time. It's fast, complications are minimal, and the recovery felt like menstrual cramps for a couple of weeks. After it's done, the endometrium never regrows, and so it never sheds ever again. Pardon me for reading from a script, but this is my first TikTok and I'm actually really pissed off, so I'm trying to stay focused. I had an ablation done about 1.5 years ago after I had been bleeding uncontrollably for months. But despite having suffered immensely from periods most of my life, both from the physical pain and the dysphoria they caused me as a non-binary person, I was not offered this procedure until I made it clear to my doctor that I absolutely would not use hormonal birth control to resolve the bleeding because it makes me feel like shit, let alone would I be willing to use it for the rest of my life, which was her solution at the time. I told her I would rather have a hysterectomy because I had never wanted children ever, and periods were the only thing that caused me to have extreme physical gender dysphoria. And I had been bleeding for over 2 months straight before my doctor, whom I actually consider one of the good ones, offered me an ablation. So why aren't we told about it? Because medicine is patriarchal and anyone born with a uterus is forced to remain fertile no matter the suffering it causes, unless of course it's a woman of color who is vulnerable, and then she may be forced into a hysterectomy without her consent. The only people I know who have ever heard of this procedure are perimenopausal or menopausal, meaning they are past the prime reproductive years. Whenever I try to talk about this procedure with people who may be suffering or just to educate people, they think I'm crazy. They think I'm making this shit up. They don't even look it up because we are so brainwashed to believe that having a uterus equals suffering. I see transgender men suffering and I am furious. I see women with severe endometriosis suffering and I am furious. I am angry for all of the years that I spent suffering when all it took was a 2-hour procedure to permanently stop the pain and dysphoria. So please, if you value full bodily autonomy for anyone born with a uterus, like this video and leave a comment because I would really like for this information to get picked up by the algorithm. And especially if you've had an ablation, leave a comment with your experience. Please share this video with as many people as you can, but especially with transgender and cisgender people who may benefit from the information, because this should be a choice. We should be allowed to opt out of fertility if we don't want it. And if this is something you want and you are 100% sure, but your doctor won't let you make that decision for yourself, find a different doctor. This is your right. It is your body.